also against expanding Medicaid. So I realize the will of the majority of people in the state voted to approve it. I oppose it personally for a variety of reasons and still do. I think it's a real concern. And there again, the financial aspect of this. When Representative Green mentioned earlier that we have a 5.2, different people use different numbers, 5.2, 5.5 or some 5.7%. 5.7% maintenance budget. What that actually means is that in order to maintain everything that the state has promised, like the career ladder, all of the different things we promised to fund, our budget, if we didn't do anything new, has to go up by 5.7%. A year or two ago, it was 3%. That's a direction that we need to be very cognizant of. We need to be very careful as we try. Everybody wants more services, but where does the money come from? It always comes down to the money. I mentioned the career ladder. I thought that might come up here, or not the career ladder, but the new school funding formula. And so there are winners and losers, but it's a spreadsheet, and you can put numbers in there, and then you can see what the impact of those numbers is. Well, yesterday, with the folks that were explaining this to us, they kept putting numbers in. If you get up to adding $280 million to the education budget, then there are only 2 schools that are losers. So money solves everything, but we don't have the money, and that's a simple fact. And in the House, we recognize there's nobody that I've spoken to that thinks this is going to just be $40 million a year, or $20 million for the first half year, as we've been told. Everybody believes it's going to go much higher. We do have to try to find the money, and how do you do that? We want to cut the tax on groceries, which makes sense to me. But there again, that's a cut. Where does the money come from? And we do have a limited budget. There's a pot of money. We have to try to figure out how to disperse that, and it's very difficult. So these are tough issues. This is going to be really difficult for the legislature. In the House, they've asked for members to give input into what they think would be adequate sideboards. And sideboards, I mean, and I don't know how you end a federal program once it starts, like Medicaid expansion, but some people say we'll put sideboards on that if the 90% currently that the federal government doesn't have any money, they just send checks and people cash them. But the 90%, if that ever goes down to where the state share will go up, then we would end the program. And a lot of people are saying that, but I do not know how you get rid of a program like this once it gets started. So there are a lot of concerns. I think at the end of the day, I have so many reasons why I didn't support it, but at the end of the day, I think it's the beginning of the end of good health care for this country. And this is applicable. It applies to a lot of things, but basically, you cannot equally distribute wealth, but you can equally distribute poverty. Now that works economically. Socialism doesn't work, never has worked, never will. And when you socialize your medicine, you do the same thing. You bring the common denominator down. And I think at the end of the day, this is going to be a disaster, but we'll do what we can.